Sadly, since I could not put this advice into practice, the results are taking a toll on my physical health. It is not easy to prepare for more than 100 cases every week, listen to novel arguments, to do independent research, and other judgments, while also dealing with the various administrative duties of a judge, particularly of a senior judge. A person has no connection with the profession cannot even imagine the number of hours that go into preparation. We spend many hours reading the paper books and making notes for matters listed the next day. Preparation for the next day begins soon after the court rises and will go on beyond midnight on most days. We continue to work even during weekends and court holidays to do research and other pending judgments. In this process, we miss out on many joys of our lives. Sometimes we miss out on important family events. At times, I wonder if my grandchildren would recognize me at all after failing to see them for days together. Therefore, when false narratives are created about the supposed easy life led by judges, it is difficult to swallow. People often complain about the long pendency of the cases at all levels of the Indian judicial system. On multiple occasions, I have highlighted the issues leading to the pendencies and backlog. I have been strongly advocating the need to revamp the infrastructure, both physical and personal, to enable the judges to function to their full potential. One of the biggest challenges before the current day judiciary is prioritizing the matters for adjudication. The judges cannot turn a blind eye to the social realities. The judge has to give priority to the pressing matters in order to save the system from avoidable conflicts and burdens. On this occasion, I shall not fail to place on record my worries about the future judiciary in this country. Every case is equally important for a judge. The burden on an already fragile judicial infrastructure is increasing by day. There have been a few knee-jerk reactions in augmenting infrastructure in few places. However, I have not heard of any concrete plan to equip the judiciary to meet the challenges of the foreseeable future, leave alone a long-term vision for the century and the country ahead. Judges and judiciary have no power or authority to introduce a uniform system. The executive also has its own limitations, as it may not be able to appreciate the needs of the judiciary. It is only with the coordinated efforts of the judiciary and the executive that this alarming issue of infrastructure can be addressed. In my opinion, the need of the hour is to initiate a multidisciplinary study where scientific methods can be used to equip our judiciary for the future. With the growth of the economic and population, a sustainable method of dispensation of justice needs to be modeled. The reality, given the current situation, is that we are simply not equipped to handle the rising challenges of the future. If the judiciary suffers, our democracy suffers. This is a serious issue. Doing justice is not an easy responsibility. It is becoming increasingly challenging with each passing day. At times, there were also concerted efforts in media, particularly on the social media against judges. Another aspect which affects the fair functioning and independence of the judiciary is the rising number of media trials. New media tools have enormous amplifying ability, but appears to be incapable of distinguishing between the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, and the real and the fake. Media trials cannot be a guiding factor in deciding cases. Of late, we see the media running kangaroo courts, at times on issues even experienced judges find it difficulty to decide. Ill-informed and agenda-driven debates on issues involving justice delivery are proving to be detrimental to the health of democracy. Biased views being propagated by media are affecting the people, weakening the democracy and harming the system. In this process, justice delivery gets adversely affected. By overstepping and breaching your responsibilities, you are taking our democracy 2 steps backward. Print media still has certain degree of accountability, whereas electronic media has zero accountability, as what it shows vanishes in the thin air. Still worse in social media. Owing to the frequent transgressions and consequential social unrest, there is growing demand for stricter media regulations and accountability. In fact, looking at recent trends, it is best for the media to self-regulate and measure their words. You should not overstep and invite interference either from the government or from the courts. Judges may not react immediately. Please don't mistake it is to be the weakness of helplessness. When liberties are exercised responsibly within their domains, there will be no necessity of placing reasonable or proportionate external restrictions. I urge upon the media, particularly the electronic and social media, to behave responsibly. You are as important as stakeholders as we are. Please use the power of your voice to educate the people and to energize the nation in our collective endeavor to build a progressive, prosperous, and peaceful India. If we want a vibrant democracy, we need to strengthen our judiciary and empower our judges. These days, we are witnessing increasing number of physical attacks on the judges. Can you imagine a judge who served on the bench for decades, putting hardened criminals behind the bar, once he retires, loses all the protection that came with the tenure? Judges have to live in the same society as the people that they have convicted without any security or assurance of safety. Politicians, bureaucrats, police officers, and other public representatives are often provided with security even after their retirement, owing the sensitiveness of their job. Ironically, judges are not extended similar protection. The judges of the constitutional courts enjoy wider discretion while rendering justice, especially in a country as socially diverse as India. Judges must have a very practical approach while laying down the law. They need to be humanistic and compassionate, as their opinions have differing impacts on different classes of people. Another aspect behind the idea of discretion to allow the judges to do complete justice in each set of facts and circumstances. To do complete justice, a good judge needs to be aware about the practical outcome of his decisions. Particularly in a common law system where the law progresses with precedents, judges are important stakeholders in shaping the democracies. If the judge's role is confined to adjudicating disputes, if the judge is barred from interpreting the constitution and laws, it would be difficult to imagine the fate of our democracy. One gets to hear that judges, being unelected, should not get into legislative and executive areas. But this ignorance the constitutional responsibility that plays in the judiciary. Judicial review of legislative and executive actions is an integral part of the constitutional scheme. I would go as far as to state that it is the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. In my humble view, in the absence of judicial review, people's faith in our Constitution would have diminished. The Constitution is ultimately for the people. The judiciary is the organ which breathes life into the Constitution. I am very happy that the institution that I hail from has filled certain gaps in the Constitution in the interest of public at large. It is interpretation by the judiciary that have sustained and reinforced the faith of the people in the republic and the democracy. No doubt, the judiciary holds a special position in our constitutional scheme. The judiciary has, by and large, lived up to the responsibilities entrusted to it by the framers of the Constitution. For our people, it continues to be the most trusted organ of the state. Our experience of past 75 years has proved beyond doubt that the parliamentary democracy is the best suited for a country as diverse and complex India. Only a flourishing and vibrant democracy can lead our country on path of peace, progress, and global leadership. As a strong judiciary is the ultimate guarantee for the rule of law and democracy. Hence, our collective endeavor should be to strengthen the judiciary, which in turn further strengthen our democracy. On a personal note, the opportunity to serve as a judge came with the tremendous challenges, but I have never regretted a single day. It is definitely not a service, but a calling. I conclude this memorial lecture and by paying tributes to Honorable Justice Satyabrat Sinha. May the life and achievements of Justice Sinha inspire generations of young lawyers. Madam Utpala Sinha has been a strong pillar of strength for Justice Sinha and the family. She took a great care of Justice Sinha all through. The credit for her success of their children goes to Madam Utpala. I wish Abhijit, Indrajit, Namnita, and other family members of Justice Sinha. I thank Honorable Chief Justice of Jharkhand, Brother Justice Ravi Ranjan, for honoring me and inviting me for this function. The opportunity to inaugurate the two brand new subdivisional court and complexes at Chandli and Nagar, Ontario. I am happy to note that these court complexes will have 6 and 7 judicial officers respectively and are equipped with state-of-art infrastructure. I hope this brings justice delivery closest to the people in these two subdivisions. I thank Professor Keshav Rao organizing the inaugural and Justice S.B. Sinha Memorial Lecture. I also thank brother and sister judges of the Jharkhand High Court. My best wishes to the children who received the scholarship today under the Project Sishu. My blessings and best wishes to all of you for a successful future. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, my Lord. My Lord has been the powerhouse of knowledge, and Lordship's articulate speech has enlightened us all. Now we proceed towards initiative of Jharkhand State Legal Services Authority, JHALSA. Children are the supreme assets of a nation, but the pandemic COVID-19 has adversely affected all of us, with children being the worst sufferers, rising to the occasion under the able guidance of Honorable Mr. Justice Aparesh Kumar Singh, Executive Chairman JHALSA. JHALSA has worked under the guidance of NALSA Scheme for Children 2015 and pioneered Project Shishu in May 2021. Department of Women and Child, Jharkhand, has also given its support, and we are proud to announce that more than 1,275 children have been rehabilitated under this. In March 2022, Central Coalfield Limited came up with its scholarship scheme for children who have lost single or both parents to the pandemic, and they worked alongside JHALSA, identified around 180 children, and they were given the scholarships, which ranges from 20,000 to 50,000 per annum for their higher education. We thank Shri MP Prasad, CMD CCL Director, GM CSR for the humanitarian initiative. It gives me immense pride and pleasure to request our Honorable the Chief Guest for distribution of scholarship to the meritorious children. Press and media are requested to protect the identity of children. मैं निवेदन करूंगी कि इन सभी बच्चों को स्टेज पे लाया जाए स्कॉलरशिप लेने हेतु. Such is the compassion of Honorable the Chief Guest that my Lord has come forward to give the children scholarship along with gift hampers, and we wish them all the very best. The little kid smiling under her mask is so happy to receive the scholarship as well as the gift hamper. This will be used for a higher education. All these children are the meritorious children who have been selected. These children are indeed very fortunate to receive blessings directly from the Chief Justice of India. सभी बच्चों से निवेदन है कि एक एक करके आएं और स्कॉलरशिप एवं गिफ्ट हैम्पर को ले जाएं और अपने भविष्य को उज्जवल बनाएं. Our children are the hope of the nation, and today they are receiving this scholarship directly from Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Let's give the children a huge round of applause and wish them all the best for their future. CCL, Jhalsa, Department of Women and Child. under Section 12E of the Legal Services Authorities Act makes victims of disaster entitled to legal aid. And Jhalsa has risen to this occasion and took this initiative under the Nalsa Scheme for Children 2015 and pioneered Project Shishu in May 2021. Their educational and health status is being monitored regularly on quarterly basis, and none of them have left their studies since June 2021. My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of India mentioned in his speech that how happy moments escape from the life of a judge, and we are here to give such happy moments to my lords. Thank you, my Lord. All these children, my Lord, are your grandchildren, and definitely they will remember, my Lord, all their lives and their future generations as well. Now, I would like to request His Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, for presenting memento and shawl in honor and gratitude to the Chief Justice, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, come Patron-in-Chief, Nalsa. Thank you, my Lord. I now request Mohammad Shakir, Learned Registrar General, High Court of Jharkhand. My Lord has been presented with Rudrakshamala here. Thank you, my Lord. I request Mohammad Shakir, Learned Registrar General, High Court, to present a memento and shawl to our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Nikesh Kumar Sinha, Learned Registrar Administration. I request Registrar Administration, High Court, to present a memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Apresh Kumar Singh, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Shri Santosh Kumar, Learned Member Secretary, Jhalsa, to present memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice S. Chandrasekhar, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Sudhanshu Kumar Shashi, Learned Director, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, to present a memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Sujit Narayan Prasad, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Chairman, Executive Committee, Jharkhand Judicial Academy. I request Sri Sanjay Kumar, Learned Member Secretary, SCMS Secretariat, High Court of Jharkhand, to present memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Sanjay Kumar Singh, Joint Registrar, Judicial High Court of Jharkhand, to present a memento and shawl to Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, Ranchi. I humbly request respected Madam Dr. Sunita Roy, wife of His Lordship, Honorable the Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, to present memento and shawl to Madam Utpala Sinha, wife of late Honorable Justice S.B. Sinha, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Thank you, Madam. I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay to present a memento on behalf of NUSRL to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Honorable Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay is Chancellor nominee to the Executive Council, NUSRL. Now I request Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, to present a book publication on behalf of NUSRL to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Thank you. I thank Honorable our Chief Guest, whose Charan Kamal in Jharkhand will surely be instrumental in progress of Jharkhand judiciary and take the legal fraternity to new heights. I now request everyone present in the auditorium to rise for the national anthem. I apologize. I request Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, who has contributed for 4 decades in the field of legal education, to deliver the vote of thanks. The learned audience, kindly be seated. I apologize.
A moment of ecstasy always makes us to forget to follow the schedule. And that is the reason why Madam, in a moment of ecstasy, has slipped through the next item on the agenda. I won't take much time. I'll be just completing my task. I know His Lordship is very eager to leave and then attend other functions. I would only say, my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana Garu, Chief Justice of India, my Lord, Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, my Honorable Chancellor and Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Jharkhand, judges occupying the dais, Honorable Judges of the High Court, both present and past, in the audience, gracious ladies in the audience, government officials, advocates participating in the conference on mediation, senior advocates, my colleagues from National University of Study and Research in Law, dear students, media, both press as well as electronic, family members of Justice S.B. Sinha ji, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. Today we are all very fortunate in listening to a wonderful lecture on the topic Life of a Judge from Honorable the Chief Justice of India himself. May I share a secret with you? Working till 2 o'clock on 22nd of July 2022, getting up at 3:15, getting ready, going all the way to Terminal 3 of airport in Delhi, catching a flight at 5:15, without having the privilege of business class and traveling in economic class, coming here, delivering the lecture to us, inaugurating the courts, distributing the scholarships, blessing the conference on mediation with his benign presence is a classic indication of the life of a judge. Milord, how can we say thanks to you except we say to my Chancellor, Dr. Ravi Ranjan ji. He is there as the backbone for the university. He is guiding us. He is, in fact, sometimes even finding fault with us. And but for him, this lecture would not have been delivered in such a wonderful fashion. I can only say, Milord, we are grateful to you. And to the other judges, Apresh Kumar ji, Chandrasekhar ji, Srijit Narayan Prasad ji, and my mentor, Rangan Mukhopadhyay ji, I can only say, you have not only contributed your thoughts, you have guided us in ensuring that this function goes on very smoothly. To you and to the other judges from the Jharkhand of High Court who are present here, on behalf of all of us, a big thank you. To the former judges that are present here, I can only say, you have brought glory to this meeting by your benign presence. To Madam Utpala Sinha ji, to Sri Abhijit Sinha ji, to Sri Indrajit Sinha ji, and to Mr. Justice Amit Talukdar and Madam Vishnupriya Talukdar, former judge of Calcutta High Court, and relatives to Justice S.B. Sinha ji, we not only express our gratitude for initiating the endowment, but also making sure that the first lecture is delivered by none other than the Chief Justice of India himself, and also for your benign presence. Well, I am sure, but for you, this series of lectures would not have commenced at all. We are grateful to you on behalf of all of us, especially the National University of Study and Research in Law. To the Advocate General, to the secretaries of the different departments from the government of Jharkhand present here, and to the other government officials, I can only say you have added glamour to this function. Thank you very much. To all the senior advocates and to other dignitaries like the Vice Chancellors who are present here, we say our gratitude to you. To all the advocates that are going to participate in the conference on mediation, you are very lucky in having the blessing of the Chief Justice of India by his benign presence. And I can only say at this moment, you are going to have very fruitful and useful lessons. I congratulate you on the things that are scheduled to come, and I wish every one of you all the best, and thank you for gracing this occasion. To my students, sir, my students have come to the campus only yesterday, and the only reason most attractive reason is the simple fact that I informed them Chief Justice of India will be coming on 23rd. Though the university is scheduled to open on 1st of August, the students have come, and Milord, we have a humble request, two requests to you. Number one, I think this opportunity I may be permitted to take. Number one, we request you to kindly permit us to print the lecture for the benefit of the posterity. And number two, we request you to kindly give us the opportunity of having one photograph with you, if not to the faculty, at least to the students. And dear students, you are very lucky. You are going to have an interaction with our Honorable Chief Justice of India for a few minutes. Don't be over-enthusiastic. Conduct yourself well and give a good impression of our university. To the faculty members, thank you very much for your participation here. And to the press, the traditional as well as electronic media, I would only say, please cover us well. Huh? Normally, you know, sir, our university never finds a place in the English papers. We always find place in the Hindi papers. But those of you that are covering, please make sure that it is sufficiently covered. Okay? And to everybody else, I would only say, if I left anybody, it's not by intention. It's only accidental. To everyone that is present here to make this function a grand success, I would only say, on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the High Court of Jharkhand, on behalf of the Jalsa, on behalf of the Committee for Legal Services, on behalf of the Judicial Academy, and not least but not the last, NUSRL, I would only say, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I request everyone present in the auditorium to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I humbly seek permission of the esteemed Honorable the Chief Guest to conclude the program. Thank you, my Lord. I request all the learned participants to remain seated in the auditorium for technical session on mediation. And I request the honorable dignitaries to proceed for photography.